I bet most of you like me never thought you'd see the day where you see the Batman Forever Batmobile be produced on 1/6 scale. But the company Jazzinc says, hold my beer. Let's check it out. Welcome everyone from What's on the Table. This is Prof G and you are watching another episode of Graded, the show where we're not just going to unbox or review a particular statue, collectible, or figure. We are actually going to give it a grade at the end of each video. So for this episode, we are gonna grade the 1/6 scale 1995 Batman Forever Batmobile by none other than Jazzinc Dioramas. Now let's be honest, this is a Batmobile that not many of us expected to see in a collectible form. I mean, if you're gonna compare it to the classics like the 1989, the 1966, and even to some extent the Dark Knight Trilogy version, depending on which generation you belong to, the 1995 Batmobile isn't exactly at the top of the popularity chart. But Jazzinc surprised us all by bringing this neon-infused ride to life. Priced at $1,500, we're grading it to see if this underdog Batmobile can steal the spotlight. First, you're gonna be greeted with the accessories at the level 1 styro containing the 3 fins/wings that is meant to be attached at the back part of the vehicle. Jazzinc gave us a universal adapter just in case we don't have one at home, the power supply that is meant to light up the Batmobile, a manual, and this is very important, the magnet that will help you open up the canopy so that you won't have your filthy fingerprints on this precious Batmobile. Moving on to the level 2 styro and holy that's it, everything is destroyed. Just kidding, it's perfectly fine, not even a scratch or a dent, even though I made the dumbest mistake of flipping it while the pins were still there. It's actually pretty sturdy. Good job, Jazzinc. Harvey, cue the very short assembly montage in 3, 2, 1. Three parts plus a plug, that's it. Pretty easy. My collector friends, this is the 1/6 scale Batmobile from the Batman Forever movie by Jazzinc Dioramas. Now, I know I said a while ago that Jazzinc surprised us all by producing the 1995 Batmobile, and yeah, it's true, it was actually really a big surprise. A good surprise, if I may add. As I didn't think there would be a company that will risk producing something that is not that popular. But boy, I was wrong. Jazzinc operates differently compared to other companies. Hear me out, guys. They don't just create collectibles out of the blue and shove it in our faces. No, sir, they do not. They consult the most important stakeholders before creating something. Us. They consult us, the collector community, which is actually great for us, but it can be a double-edged sword. I'll get back to this point in a little bit. Stay tuned until the end of the video as I will say something very important about my experience with Jazzinc's customer service. Now, just to refresh your memory, this is the Batmobile starred by Val Kilmer as the Batman, Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, and Jim Carrey as the Riddler. Now, I know just by looking at the cast, it looks good on paper, but it just didn't click with its viewers. But I was only 10 years old back then when this was released, and to be honest, I actually liked the movie. Again, I was 10 years old. Now, this may explain why I said a while ago that this Batman was not the best movie version of the character, and imagine my reaction when the Jazzinc community voted to have this produced by the company. Keyword to this sentence is voted. I'll explain that also in just a bit. But let's start by looking at this awesome Batmobile all lit up, ready to fight crime by blinding them with all that bright bluish neon lights on almost half the actual Batmobile body. First, the light up body. If there is one word I would describe this Batmobile design, that would be flashy. If you're gonna compare it to its predecessors and even the versions that came afterwards, this is probably the single Batmobile design that has the most unnecessarily jam-packed lights all over. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but in my head, the traits of a good Batmobile would be its functionality with its overall use to fight crime in Gotham, and most importantly, its intimidating presence. Now, you be the judge if those characteristics were met and let me know in the comment section below. Looking at the lighting on these parts, if the video doesn't do it justice, I'll say it right now. These are very bright lights. The bright headlights, the lighting on the sides of the vehicle that kind of looks like a person's ribs as it lights up the huge engine inside it, the lights on the hood, and my favorite, the lights on the rims. And if I may add, these wheels actually turn and the rims stay put. just like in the movies. And oh plus, those are real rubber tires. Yay. Now, if there is a selling point to this Batmobile design, and probably why I like this as a kid in the 90s, it's those bright lights. It's different. But is the body movie accurate? Well, not 100%. I'll explain that also later on. Second, the paint job. Now I remember in the community page of Jazzinc, Yost constantly consult with us, yes, I pronounce it right as I use Google, on the different paint applications we prefer. I remember he gave us 3 options to choose from and it was up for a vote. And looking at this production piece, I really think they did a terrific job on the paint applications. No overspills, no clumps, no bubbles. It's perfect. From the paint job on the rims, even the paint job of the engine inside. But, and this is not a big deal, I repeat, this is not a big deal. Although the engine is well painted, you're not gonna see any gradients or paint weathering on the engine. But the reason why I said it's not a big deal for me is because the parts and the texture casts shadows already on each other, negating the image of the paint job being flat. And that is when you have the lights turned off. But when you have the lights turned on, you're gonna see that having it flat actually made the parts inside much more vibrant. So yeah, I know people from the community said that they wanted some weathering or color blends on it, but to be honest, I am okay with it. Third, you have the wings/fins attached to it. Very sturdy, if I may add, as shown in the video a while ago that I dropped all of them, and surprisingly, not even a scratch or dent. Easy to attach, very practical. Now I know some people in the community requested if the middle fin can split similar to how it was in the movie. But to be honest, I kinda hated that look, as if you saw it in the movie, when it was split in half and Robin was driving the Batmobile, it didn't look good at all. It was just shaking and flapping around and it does not give any sort of value. Now I know we want it to be movie accurate, but what we have is a good compromise. A good thick material that does not break easily. And last but not the least, the canopy and the car interior. Now if you love the exterior look of this Batmobile, wait until you see the inside of this vehicle. Jazzinc gave us a magnet to assist us in opening the canopy and avoid accidentally staining and scratching it. Now looking at this, Jazzinc didn't do any shortcuts in the light up features. If that part of the vehicle needs to be lit up, trust Jazzinc to make sure that it's gonna light up. From the dashboard, the console, and all the bottles and bells and whistles you could find inside, I think it's decently made. This is the part where other toy companies, Hot Toys, neglect to add detail to. Mostly, they're only focused on the exterior as obviously it's what you're gonna be seeing most of the time. But Jazzinc again says, hold my beer! Now let's talk about how this 1995 Batmobile stacks up against other Batmobiles. While it may not have the gritty realism of the Tumbler or the classic lines of the 1989 Batmobile, it brings its own kind of charm to the table. It's a nostalgia piece, a throwback to a time when Batman was a bit more colorful. And for that reason alone, it earns its place in any serious Bat collection. Now, before I give you the final grade, let me just share something to the Jazzinc community and for the collectors who just, found out about Jazzinc and wants to purchase their collectibles in the future. Now, this is not about the figure, it's about their customer service. Now, in all honesty, this was actually not the first 1995 Batmobile delivered to me here in the Philippines. This is actually the second one. Hear me out. While we were doing the initial shoot and unboxing, we noticed some minor damage in the vehicle that was probably from the warehouse and packing procedure. And no, I'm not gonna show it to you as that's not the whole point of why I am even sharing this. It was a good thing that the cameras were rolling as it provided me some reference to submit to Jazzinc's very responsive customer service team. When we saw it, I immediately messaged them through their Facebook, showed them some photos and the video while we were unboxing it, and without hesitation, they said that they will ship a replacement as early as the next day. It was a very isolated case as they shipped hundreds of these bad boys and I'm the only one who showed that particular problem to them on my production piece. Again, it probably occurred during the warehousing, packing, and handling phase, so the production was not at fault at all. Or maybe it's just the climate and humidity here in the islands, I'm not sure. But what really sets Jazzinc apart is when they said that they made these collectibles for us and it's powered by collectors. It's not just some lame marketing slogan, it's actually freaking legit. They can claim that. And they showed that to us numerous times, from asking us what we want, what product to be produced first, what kind of paint job we want, what kind of face sculpt we want, everything. And at the end of the day, after even trying to satisfy the thousands and thousands of community members, Yo still surprises us with added features that he throws in with no added cost. I mean, who does that? Now, when I said that it was a double-edged sword a while ago, it's true. They're the best right now at what they do because they don't take shortcuts. They are very accommodating and open-minded. I just want to give this message to the community. I know Jazzinc is a one-of-a-kind company who considers us as a major stakeholder and decision makers. And all I can say is, let's not abuse it. Having said that, for this 1995 Batman Forever Batmobile, I am going to give it a grade of 8.5. They didn't include a lot of features they're doing now, like the added smoke, sound effects, and attachment variations, but they did make it right by producing this Batmobile with its actual selling point. The light-up features, the minor details on the accessories, and parts such as the engine, the wheels, and the interiors. Now, it might not be the first Batmobile you think of, but it's definitely one that deserves recognition, and Jazzinc made it possible for us. Thanks guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do me a solid by clicking on the like and subscribe button, or even just giving me a shout at the comment section below. If you have a different grade you would want to give this 1995 Batmobile by Jazzinc, please let me know also in the comment section below. Thanks again everyone, this is Prof G and you just watched another episode of Graded. See you all in the next one.